End of April 2026. Monthly recap. Like and subscribe. The $1 Investor. Today I want to do something I have not done in about a month or two. I want to slow down, touch base with you guys, and show you exactly where I'm at right now. Not theory, not hype, not some fake internet fantasy. Real numbers, real accounts, real work, and real progress. I want to show you what I've built so far in two different systems. My first system is my 457B Empower retirement machine, the one I've been building here at AC Transit for the last 10 years, but in reality, probably about 7 strong years of real discipline. I lost about 3 years total between my wife getting sick for about 8 months and me wasting time in the past, calling in sick, messing around, and doing dumb shit. Even with all that wasted time, I still built this account to over $408,000 combined between my liquidity and my invested side. My second system is my YouTube portfolio, the one I started in October of 2025 with a zero balance to prove to regular people, blue-collar people, bus drivers, mailmen, garbage men, warehouse workers, construction workers, and anybody else willing to listen that you do not need thousands of dollars to start investing. You need $1, that's it. $1, consistency, and time. So today I'm showing both accounts together because this is the real picture of what I do every single day. Let me start with my Empower system. Inside that system, my pure liquidity, cash sitting there, ready for me to use, sitting in reserve and growing every 2 weeks is about $189,000 plus. Then on top of that, my invested side inside my Empower retirement structure, which is my Roth IRA plus my individual investment account, is sitting at $219,691. That money did not appear out of nowhere. That money came from the $30,000 I borrow from myself every January. I take that money, max out my Roth, and then the extra $20,000 plus goes right back into investments. So when I add my liquidity side and my invested side together, my Empower 457B system is sitting at a little over $408,000. That is one machine, that is one side. Then I have my YouTube portfolio. That one started at zero in October of 2025. Today, between my investing account, my traditional IRA, and my Roth IRA, that YouTube portfolio is sitting at about $8,890.22. Again, I started that account with nothing. Zero. No lump sum, no giant deposit, no cheat code. I built it the same way I preach every single day, $1 at a time. So when I combine my Empower system and my YouTube portfolio, I'm sitting at roughly $417,581 working for me right now. That is my monthly recap. That is where I'm at as of April 2026. Now let me explain how I'm doing it. Every 2 weeks, my 457B gets a recurring deposit of $1,250 pre-tax. Then I also put in another $1,060 every 2 weeks post-tax to pay back the $30,000 loan I borrow from myself every January. So far this year alone, I've already put in $10,000 into that retirement account, and by the end of the year, I'm on track to put in about $32,500. That money keeps feeding the machine. Then I take my YouTube portfolio, and every paycheck I deposit about $550 into that account. And I buy 55 different companies and ETFs every single day for $1 each. That is about $55 a day, about $275 a week, and roughly $1,100 a month, depending on the month and how the calendar falls. My goal is to eventually get that portfolio up to 60 companies, $60 a day, $300 a week, and just keep scaling it from there. For now, I'm growing it at the pace of a blue-collar bus driver salary. That is the whole point. I'm here to prove you can do this with small money. Now let me show the work. Inside my YouTube portfolio, on the investing side, I have built the following positions so far. I own about 10.25 shares of SCHD, and that position is up about $19.47. I own about 4.19 shares of DGRO, up about $9.77. I own about 2.10 shares of VT, up about $15.56. I own about 3.69 shares of SPYM, up about $11.76. I own about 0.347909 shares of BOTZ, up about $1.01. I own about 0.237858 shares of EWW, up about 87 cents. I own about 0.665463 shares of KWEB, up about $1.12. I own about 0.377202 shares of INDA, up about $1.04. I own about 0.231508 shares of BND, up about 10 cents. Then, on the next part of the portfolio, I own about 13.90 shares of ETHA, down about $29.66. I own about 5.92 shares of IBIT, down about $19.09. I own about 0.332974 shares of MSBT, up about 20 cents. I own about 0.087382 shares of DRAM, up about 6 cents. I own about 0.072309 shares of DTCR, up about 2 cents. I own about 0.013711 shares of NUKZ, down about 1 cent. I own about 0.082671 shares of Amazon, up about $2.41. I own about 0.045268 shares of Microsoft, up about $1.98. I own about 0.066651 shares of Apple, up about $1.17. I own about 0.059607 shares of Google, up about $2.21. Then I move into my other names. I own about 0.378690 shares of Intel, up about $5.86. I own about 0.100906 shares of Nvidia, up about $2.11. I own about 0.196828 shares of Netflix, down about 55 cents. I own about 0.019731 shares of PayPal, basically flat. I own about 42.12 shares of KLAR, up about $22.44. I own about 1.02 shares of PCG, down about 31 cents. I own about 0.941628 shares of ET, down about 21 cents. I own about 1.19 shares of HE, up about 93 cents. I own about 1.38 shares of RUN, down about $1.16. I own about 1.60 shares of CX, up about 97 cents. I own about 2.54 shares of GT, up about $1.35. I own about 1.23 shares of RIVN, up about $1.82. I own about 2.97 shares of NIO, up about $1.83. I own about 0.940939 shares of LI, up about 63 cents. I own about 2.74 shares of TIGR, up about $1.49. I own about 5.14 shares of GRAB, up about $2.68. I own about 0.238423 shares of HOOD, up about $4.48. I own about 1.09 shares of SOFI, up about $3.25. I own about 2.20 shares of MFG, up about 97 cents. I own about 1.73 shares of NRDS, up about 98 cents. I own about 2.39 shares of ADAM, up about 89 cents. I own about 1.08 shares of CORZ, up about $3.25. I own about 0.743084 shares of HPE, up about $2.36. I own about 0.694767 shares of CHWY, up about $1.76. I own about 8.61 shares of GDRX, up about $2.28. I own about 3.29 shares of ACHR, up about $1.72. I own about 1.54 shares of PBI, up about $3.23. I own about 1.88 shares of QS, up about $1.02. I own about 1.29 shares of S, up about $1.48. I own about 9.66 shares of EVGO, up about $2.81. I own about 4.10 shares of PTON, up about $3.06. I own about 3.29 shares of SG, up about $4.71. I own about 1.57 shares of JACK, up about $3.53. I own about 0.539146 shares of RGTI, up about $2.17. I own about 0.607488 shares of QBTS, up about $3.71. I own about 0.481039 shares of GLXY, up about $2.41. I own about 0.740467 shares of ONDS, up about 83 cents. Now let me also talk about my Roth IRA side inside this this same YouTube system. In there, I'm also building positions in ETHA, IBIT, SCHD, DGRO, SPYM, and KLAR. In other words, I'm not just building one version of this strategy, I'm building multiple layers of it. Then on top of all that, I also hold short market hedge positions in SQQQ, VIXY, UVXY, SVIX, and SVXY. Right now, SQQQ is down about $7.44, VIXY is down about $4.24, and UVXY is down about $6.63. On the other side, SVIX is up about $2.24, and SVXY is up about $1.27. That hedge system is there for one reason: protection. I'm not here to gamble. I'm not here to become some Reddit clown chasing meme garbage. I'm not here to get rich overnight. I'm here to build wealth for the next 20 years. Now let's talk about where this can go if I stay on this same path. If I keep putting about $32,500 a year into my 457B system for the next 20 years, that is $650,000 in contributions alone. If that grows at a reasonable long-term rate, that account can turn into well over $1 million, and depending on growth, potentially much more. If I keep feeding my YouTube portfolio at roughly $1,100 a month, that is about $13,200 a year. Over 20 years, that is about $264,000 in contributions. With compounding, that portfolio can also grow into something massive. So when I look at both systems together over the next 20 years, I'm not just looking at numbers, I'm looking at inheritance. I'm looking at legacy. I'm looking at the foundation I'm leaving behind for my daughters. That is the whole point. Everything I do, every extra hour I work, every 7-day week, every 250 to 260 hours every 2 weeks, all of it is for one reason: to maximize my investments, to maximize my ownership, to maximize what I leave behind. I'm not doing this to flex. I'm not doing this for validation. I'm not doing this for applause. I'm doing this because when I am gone, I want my daughters to be able to look back at these portfolios, these numbers, these habits, this discipline, and understand exactly what their father built and why he built it. I want them to know that this did not happen by accident. It happened because I showed up every day, $1 at a time, one paycheck at a time, one sacrifice at a time. That is my monthly recap. That is where I'm at right now. And I'm nowhere near done. Like and subscribe. The $1 Investor.